That's right, I'm officially a paid content creator. And I know what you're here to know, but you can just wait a couple of minutes for me to explain my YouTube journey and hopefully give you some insight into the amount of work it can take to get to this point. And also, if I can help anyone out there fast track their YouTube channel, that'd be great, as I've definitely made some mistakes along the way. So let's rewind to the 21st of December 2020. I had decided to start journaling the daily ins and outs of the cafe via this YouTube channel. Back then, the channel was simply named the Brewlab Cafe, as I thought it would just be content regarding to the cafe and the learning curves of coffee. If you have watched my earlier videos, many of which I have since deleted, you may have noticed I had no idea what I was actually trying to achieve, and I was watching a lot of James Hoffmann at the time, so I was attempting to speak like him and follow the trend of a sophisticated British barista, and put nicely, I failed. Now to me, the reason it did fail is because I had learnt pretty quickly that to make content that engages with people, it needs to be genuine. Now my genuine responses to some products has definitely got me in some trouble along the way, but I'd made the conscious decision to never sell out and stay true to myself, even if it does slow down my own online progress. Then within a couple of months, let's say January of 2021, I had realised that certain brands received some solid results. So I focused quite heavily on the La Pavoni content. Now the only issue with that is I didn't really know a lot about the product. So rather than faking it, I decided to use that to my advantage and make that a way to connect with like-minded novices using these machines. Because although I didn't have a lot of knowledge about the product, I've always been quite mechanically minded and certainly not afraid to pull things apart. In the early days of the cafe, we also had a very impressive Sanremo Opera, which I do still own. However, that whole thing is a story for another time. And for anyone that knows anything about the Sanremo Opera, it is not only nice to look at, it is one of the most groundbreaking machines to ever be produced. So with that machine at my disposal, I definitely needed to leverage from that. And this is where I'd realised I was onto something. Giving people a look into parts of the cafe world that typically you just aren't able to see, which led to some pretty cool videos that got some decent traction. Then on the 1st of April 2021, I had revealed our new shop location, which was pretty much a flop video as I had no audience to engage with. But once that cafe was renovated and we had settled in, I'd made the decision that I was able to start shooting some nice looking videos in a well-presented area. So I invested a small amount of money into a tripod and a little bit of lighting. The first proper video I recorded in the new location was and still is a fairly successful video, receiving over 1,000 views per month, which is pretty good for a single scene, poorly lit, no audio gear, and a mobile phone edited video. Now that video alone has generated a small amount of income since being monetized. And if you're not sure what monetized means, sit tight, I'm going to explain it right now. In the world of YouTube, we all have the ability to become monetized by achieving a few milestones. Firstly, you'll need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours or 10 million short views within 365 days, which is hard. Fast forward to January 2023, I had uploaded over 150 videos and I was beginning to upload 2 to 3 times a week as I'd made the effort to really push this channel. I had also realised the content rarely had anything to do with the cafe anymore and more about myself within the industry or the cafe lifestyle. So I rebranded the channel Mitch Does Coffee. And that gave me a lot more opportunity to move forward because as a cafe approaching other people in the industry, I actually received a lot of hesitation rather than just a coffee lover trying to do his thing. With this newfound momentum, I found a lot more companies were happy to work with me, which led to new products to play with, which in turn led to more content. And the cycle started because I was able to make and upload new content every 2 to 3 days, all while still running and operating the cafe. Yes, I was very tired, but I was watching the results come in fast, so I was in no position to slow down. So let's fast forward to the 16th of May 2023. I had finally hit that magical 1,000 subscriber milestone not too long after cruising way past the 4,000 watch hours. Now this meant I was eligible to apply for monetization. And if I'm being honest, that process was not so simple. It took way longer than I expected, Now, I will be clear, money making from this was never my goal. This channel was and is for educational and entertainment purposes. But in saying that, I have accumulated a decent amount of expensive equipment, not only for making the videos, but also purchasing a lot of the items to test. So some form of return on investment would be nice. And the easiest ways to make money via YouTube is through the ads, or there are memberships available through YouTube. Now there are also external items like your Patreons, but I do prefer to keep it within the YouTube membership as it's a lot easier to trace exactly what the channel's doing. Now to kind of prove that this channel isn't really some giant money making scheme, I'm going to show you exactly how much money I've received from the last 3 years of work. But before I do that, I am going to ask you to please hit that subscribe button as a bit of encouragement to keep me pushing, because the figure I'm about to tell you is not even close to covering the costs. Drum roll, please. So, after 3 months of being monetized, with a bit of a pause in there due to some US tax paperwork that didn't go so smoothly, I have generated a whopping $189.40. So, not horrible, but I definitely won't be going full-time on YouTube anytime soon, and certainly not even close to covering the costs of this channel so far. Now, the most successful video in terms of revenue has actually been the $119 Kmart experiment machine, which wasn't too hard to make, and that has generated about $41 of income. And considering that was $120 to purchase, plus my time, and all the gear to do this, that's not a great return on investment. And this is why most YouTubers will near beg you to like and subscribe, as it is a free way for you to help share these videos around. Now, I am aware that if I keep moving the way I am, this channel will grow exponentially. So with your help, I can really switch this into something pretty cool for all of us. But now I want to hear from you. Are my earnings more or less than you had expected? So pop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. But for now, I'll say thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a great day and happy brewing. Vegan, gluten-free. I'm not into that stuff. I'm not going to pretend I am. I think it's just hot on top of the machine and they've just called it that. And a detachable frothing nozzle. Fancy dancy dosing cup in. You'll hear it. Max. Okay. Nice and equal, even. That's it. Need to run a descaler through these things. I'll upsize from the 2 group to the 3 group machine. You can adjust the cup heater. You'll already know that. Your doses. So as